Hello! What's up, guys? It's me, your girl, CatCorelli, and this is episode 240 from my Cat Vibes series, in which I'm painting my October poem number 4, as far as I remember. I have a total of 5. I just felt like I wanted to paint a little mini-series of like 5 small paintings themed around the fall and the beauty of the fall, and local wildlife and nature, this kind of thing. So it's also some good practice, and I have these little canvases which I think allow me to give myself a little bit of a break. And I've been talking about a few new things that I'm exploring in painting on the previous couple of episodes, including this whole concept of forcing myself to kind of play make-believe and pretend that I don't exactly know what I'm painting, to achieve more fluency and more freedom, ultimately. This is the ultramarine blue that I was using. That's what I've shown there. So this is the 4th October poem. It is a landscape actually down the road from here. One of these days I was out there on a walk. It was a gorgeous sunset, and it was actually getting pretty late, so the sun was not exactly there. It was kind of almost gone. Not completely gone, but almost gone. And there were clouds that were scattered all across the sky. So on this side of the sky, as you will see a little later, it looked like it's pretty cloudless. There were some, a few little clouds here and there, but behind me, where the sun was setting, that's where there was a large front. And I don't remember if it was moving in or it was moving out. I think it was moving in, and the next day it actually rained. So, the lighting is something that captured my attention, and that's what I'm trying to paint here. This is what I'm going for. This is what piqued my interest. So, if it was just a straightforward sunset and the sun was setting right there in this scene, it would have been one story. It would have been more direct, perhaps. But when the sun is setting behind your back, and it doesn't really illuminate the sky in front of you too much. It's kind of dimmed, and the sun is setting not just behind your back, but also it has some clouds, some thick clouds, layered and preventing the sunlight from beaming through and illuminating the scene in front of you, right? So in this case, sometimes you have some very peculiar lighting. And I thought this was interesting, so I wanted to paint this, and I wanted to just jump right onto this. It's a very quick painting. However, I've done this in several sessions just because there was other stuff that I was supposed to take care of, so I wish I could just sit down and paint it in one sitting, wet into wet, a la prima, as they say, but I just didn't have the time. I had a few things that happened in these past couple of weeks, and, life gets in the way, and all sorts of things happen, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. It's just been so tedious. God. All of my plans, all of my schedule went astray, basically, or whatever the word is, and I kind of have to readjust and catch up on things and, plug myself into some sort of new adjusted schedule, let's put it this way. Hence, this video is dropping later than expected. It was supposed to drop like a couple of days ago. I wanted to put it a couple of days ago. I had this video edited, but I didn't have the audio track for it. I just didn't have time to record it. Because the painting itself was done like in October, and here we are. This is November. No, this was early November. Yeah, the painting was done basically 2 weeks ago, and here I am sitting and recording a voiceover way after the initial art piece has been completed. So I think I'll be doing little thingies like this, little miniatures. I consider this a miniature because it's tiny. It's like maybe 8.5 inches by 9 or something to that effect. I like this format because it allows me to just explore, like they say, to explore the studio space, you know. It allows me to just explore the canvas without getting really into some overly detailed work. That's not what I want. I want to have these little impressionist snippets, these little miniatures, where I capture one thing at a time. You know, the mood of a scene, the lighting, maybe the weather, the color, something that captivates me within the scene. And a little canvas like this is great because I can do this little miniature and spend not so much paint on it. And then later on, if I feel like I want to go back to a particular scene, I can kind of replicate this and paint a full-blown, massive version of it on a larger canvas. I don't know, maybe something like, I don't know, 30-something by 30-something inch canvas, that kind of thing. Even though I don't know would I want to necessarily for such a landscape, but it would be interesting. That's the idea. You know, from the get-go, ever since I started painting in oil colors, I've been setting aside the smaller underframes, which, by the way, I make them from pieces of wood, you know, cut off kind of pieces of wood. All these smaller bits and pieces, which normally people would throw in, you know, into the trash bin. So I picked them up, cleaned them up, do some 45-degree cuts, and cut them to size, put them together, and then I use leftover canvas for these miniatures, because I think that you still can make some good pieces, some good art, even out of scrapes. You know, I have larger pieces that I'm working on, kind of medium-sized, you know, and large-sized canvases, which I will be working on in the following weeks. But it just allows me a certain degree of freedom. I like it to have these little small ones, mini canvases. So you see what I'm doing here. The lighting it's not daylight already, it's kind of evening, and I'm trying to capture that all together. You see, I didn't really do much of an underpainting here. I've used some burnt sienna, mostly on the hills. They are kind of brownish. They've been kind of brownish, both because this is what it looks like around here this time of year, and second, because of the sunlight. Lots of brown. And the greens are not the spring greens, they're kind of dulled out. You see what I'm doing? I'm adding some grays there in the back. Yeah, and it's a cooler green too. And the yellow, when there is some yellow in the green, is kind of burnt out. It's when you kind of burn out that green and you get this old grass. Let's see. There was some bright red leaves, a tree crown in the back over there on the hill, which for now I just accentuated with a little bit of burnt sienna. And you see I'm working in broad brush strokes. As far as I remember, I go into like a thinner brush for a little while, but all in all, that's not what I'm aiming for here. I want broad brush strokes. I don't want plenty of detail. I want the feeling, the entire scene to work. So I'm kind of combining practice and I'm combining just, my natural inclination to do impressionistic work. More of an impressionist painting and less of a realist painting. That's the idea here. By the way, speaking of which, on a different note, as I'm recording this video, and this is going to be about a different topic, it's going to be about music, I've just recorded the vocals for Bitch Please. Bitch Please is going to be the 7th track on the coming album. Because of these new adjustments that I have to do to my schedule, I am now pretty constrained on when exactly can I record things. When exactly can I get noisy? When can I, just record a whole song? I have another 6 songs to record. There are going to be more singles. Speaking of which, the previous single dropped on November 15th. So the next single is dropping on December 13th, and it's going to be a song called You Won't Ask. Then exactly another 4 weeks later, after December 13th, there's going to be another single, and then another single, and then another single. And then the entire album, called Die Hände were Kennen, is going to drop on April 1st. Yeah, I know it's Fool's Day, but it's either going to be April 1st or it's going to be April 2nd. We'll see. I kind of like it that April 1st falls on a Wednesday, which some people believe that that's, a better choice for a release as compared to other days of the week. So I think I'll stick to that Wednesday. Most likely I'll just release the whole album on April 1st. There is plenty of work to be done still on this album. Still 6 songs to record and an enormous amount of things to mix. But I'm on it. Just wanted you to know that the next single is going to come on December 13th, and I want to thank you very, very much for actively streaming and listening to and leaving comments on my first 2 singles, namely Gone to Black and It Comes From Somewhere. I really do appreciate it. This album is really not a remake of old material in the strict sense of the word. It's rather new material. At least to me, that's what it's like to me. It's not really old songs or something like that. So it feels like it's new music, completely new music, new meaning, new message, new lyrics, new attitudes, new vibes, new emotions. So I really do appreciate it that you're streaming and that you're listening. Thank you very much for this. As per usual, if you like this miniature, or if you like any of my paintings, you can reach out to me either through email, ladycatherinecorelli@gmail.com, and just ask me about the availability and the price of a given painting. Or you can do it through Telegram, or you can just leave me a note on, in the comment section of one of these paintings and tell me, hey, I want this. What am I supposed to do? And I'll tell you, please reach out with an email and let's have a conversation. So here is the 4th October poem. There's going to be a 5th one coming soon, 5 days from now. Thank you very much for being with me. I love y'all, and you will hear me next time. Meow.